much excitement about you and your progression through the minor leagues. When you hear about that, I don't know how much you've heard about that, how much you pay attention to social media. What goes through your mind that so many people in Kansas City are excited about you coming up to the Royals?
It makes me feel pretty good, to be honest with you. Haven't even been there yet, and I feel like I already feel the love from people of Kansas City, so I'm super thankful for it, and hopefully it stays that way.
Can you tell us about the work you put in to make that transition to playing outfield? We see you obviously in the box score when you play, but maybe take us through some of the things you're doing behind the scenes or work you're doing with Rusty Kuntz and just the things you're doing to prepare yourself to play outfield at the major league level?
Yeah, Rusty's been probably the biggest help. I mean, he's somebody that knows the game extremely well, so we've just been working on like first step reads, kind of the footwork that needs to go into playing the outfield. I played it in high school, but in high school it's more of a just field it and throw it in as fast as you can. So now it's get into the nitty-gritty bits of it. So he's been very helpful with it.
How comfortable are you out there, and do you have a preference between left field or right field?
The minor leagues is the first time I've ever played left. I played right in high school, so probably more comfortable in right, but they're basically the same thing.
What's this past year been like for you? Have you ever kind of reflect on what a whirlwind it's been of being at Florida less than a year ago and now a couple levels in the minors here?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a whirlwind to kind of take a step back and look at it, but I'm just focusing one day at a time. It was cool to see like Christian Moore last week, and we were both kind of in the same boat. So talking to him and just kind of piecing together this past year, it's been cool to see, especially be able to do it with some people from the draft class. So it's been great.
Your adjustment to AAA pitching looked pretty smooth in the first series. What if anything, did you see that was different from AA?
Definitely the pitcher's misses. They're going to be a lot more competitive. So you really just kind of need to keep that laser focus throughout every AB, pitch to pitch. AA guys' stuff, I would say, might play a little bit better just because younger guys coming up, they have live arms. But these guys, most of the time you're facing somebody with showtime, so they know what they're doing. They know how to pitch very well, so I just keep that in mind.
With all your potential and all the hype, I mean, how do you not let the pressure get to you on a daily basis?
Don't really look at social media, to be honest with you. So I just kind of focus on my faith and my family and let everything else just kind of take care of itself.
What's it like being back in Omaha considering where you were at this time last year?
Pretty cool. Me and my dad, we went to Sullivan's downtown last night, went to a steakhouse and, rode past the park that me and my mom walked through my sophomore year. So it's cool to be back. I'm hoping, the Gators stay hot and they can make their way back here too. So it'd be cool to be able to catch a game. But yeah, it's a cool feeling.
Jack, planning to be here that long? In Omaha for the Council Series?
That's not up to me.
Jack, did you have kind of a target timeline in your mind when you started the season about where you wanted to be at different points of the year?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, my thing was going in after spring training, I was like, all right, I'm just hoping to start in AA, to be honest with you. I'm not somebody that's going to add pressure to myself and put a timetable on anything. I'm just going to kind of take it day by day and just focus on being present. I think that'll kind of take care of everything else.
I know you haven't been here long, but when you see guys like Rave and Lofton getting called up recently, you see the Royals are being aggressive and trying to improve the ball team, does that motivate you knowing that you could literally get your call any day right now? It could be happening?
Yeah, for sure. You don't really see it at the AA level or anything like that with guys getting the call straight out of there. So it's a different world. I've only been a part of it for a week and, seen guys come in and out already. So I'm learning a lot more here. So yeah, it's cool to think.
How much do you follow the big league team? Get a chance to watch them at all, the highlights, or follow the standings?
Yeah, I definitely do. Obviously we were sitting in front of the TV watching Raves first ABs yesterday and stuff. So yeah, I'm always just want to support everybody.
You got to hold one for 459 the other day off a left-hander. Like what's it feel like to hit? I mean, that's not natural to hit a ball that far.
Felt good.
I bet.
Yeah.
How do you keep the tunnel vision of only being one level away from the big leagues, but also keep focused on just the day-to-day and not let that be a distraction?
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of said earlier, I just take it day by day. Tonight we got a knuckleballer, so first time facing one of those, and I'm just worried about that. Worried about winning today, and whatever happens in the future will happen in the future. Not too stressed out about it.
Jack, I know Kansas City is the goal, but just to have a lot of people here in Nebraska wanting to come to the games to see you, just what does that mean? Obviously, you have the personal connection with the CWS, but to get to play here for a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Before I didn't really know the Royals affiliates too well, so I thought we were playing at Charles Schwab. So it wasn't until I was actually in the org where it was like, no, you're in Papillion. So it's great, being 25 minutes away, it's not bad at all. I'll definitely frequent downtown, probably a good bit. Got good restaurants down there, so.
The tape measure shots, I know they're nothing new for you. You hit them in college, probably hit them in high school, but so many people are in awe of that and, want to talk about it on social media. Like, what's your perspective on hitting a ball as hard and as far as you do?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I just like to take pride in being able to hit the ball hard. I just want to drive runs in. I want to just help the team. So any way that I can, whether it be a homer or even if they ask me to bunt, I'll do it. So at the end of the day, I just want to win. All that stuff's kind of, I guess, just a bonus.
Jack, do you miss pitching at all?
It's crossed my mind once or twice, I'm not going to lie to you. But my arms never felt any better. So I'll tell you that much.
Do you think that's helped with the swing?
Yeah, I don't really think it played that too much of a factor.
Jack, you were kind of looking around at the ballpark here as you walked in. What are your first impressions of it, and how are you looking to kind of get comfortable here?
Yeah, I'm super excited. This place is sweet. I feel like getting the first week in Salt Lake, obviously brand new ballpark, you got the backdrop of the mountains. I think it was a little, I got a little spoiled for the first AAA road trip for sure. That place was beautiful, but no, I like this place. I like this place a lot. Everyone says it flies pretty well here, so hoping to put that to use tonight.
There's a lot of talent in this organization, Bobby Witt to be one of them, who's a young player. Have you been able to talk to him a little bit and just what it's like to go through the ranks here and just learn from some of the guys in the organization already?
Yeah, as soon as I got promoted, Bobby reached out. We talked a good bit during spring training. He's obviously the guy, so tried to pick his mind as much as I could. He's a super down-to-earth person. He's going to help you out as much as he can, and I'm thankful for him. Vinny's also been a super big help. He texted me just as quick as Bobby did, just trying to, keep my side straight and just take it one day at a time.
What's a typical day for you? You're trying to get some work in the outfield and taking some reps, because there's that fine line between doing that and also preparing for the game that night and doing what you have to do. So what's that balance like?
Yeah, it really just depends whether we're taking infield, outfield or not before BP. I'll usually be in right or in left wherever I'm playing that day, and then I'll work in at first base after we get our throws in. And then the days that I'm DHing, I usually just kind of focus solely on the outfield. I'll do the outfield work with the outfielders and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's pretty split 50-50. Now I'm playing outfield 3 times and first only twice. So a little bit different for me, at least, just being used to first 4 or 5 days a week. So, yeah, it's pretty split.
When you got out there, you said it's been since high school. Like, what was the biggest adjustment or the biggest surprise or anything that you had to get adjusted to early on when you started playing outfield again?
Well, when the first ball got hit to me in Northwest, it was like the worst plays in the outfield are the ones that are straight at you over your head. And of course, that was the first one I get. It's been 4 years, so, the anxiety probably of don't drop it was probably the biggest thing. But right after that, it was seamless. I was like, okay, I can do this.
Jack, what's been your biggest takeaway? What's been the biggest thing you've learned throughout this process?
Honestly, you just kind of lean on the guys around you. Everybody kind of wants the same end goal at this level. So, you got plenty of people to look towards to kind of see what it's like. You got guys like Lofton who have, been up and down, and he knows what it takes to be a big leaguer. He's somebody who works really hard. So I kind of follow what he does. He's a great kind of role model for that aspect of things. Having guys like Prado, first baseman, somebody who's been in the org for a while, he's also been a really big help. And yeah, just trusting them, getting the advice from them for the guys who've been here, and kind of seeing more so the business side of things at AAA. So that's probably been the biggest thing.
Do you remember a time where you were seeing the ball as well as you did in this past series?
Junior year, I guess. Last year at Florida.
Did you even surprise yourself a little bit to just how quickly you were adjusting going up a level in that series, at the plate specifically?
Yeah, obviously the first game you got those kind of jitters and stuff, just because new place, new team. But after that first game, I felt kind of settled in, kind of knew how the dynamic was and stuff like that. So just carried it throughout the week.
Jack, congrats. We talked with JJ Cole yesterday, Matt Quatrero. They really want to make sure that they put you in a good position to succeed, even though fans really want to see you up right now. How much do you trust their process, and what are those conversations like with them?
Yeah, they've been nothing but great when it comes to communication. You know, they're super clear with their plans and stuff like that, and you know, I'm thankful for it. You know, I feel like in baseball you don't get a whole lot of that. I've obviously only been with one org, so I don't know what other orgs are like, but you know, they do a great job, and I'm thankful for them. You know, I do think that they have my best interest at heart. So, yeah, it just alleviates the pressure of the win. It's just, you know, just take it day by day.
With 5 home runs now, right now, do the guys on the team have like are they giving you anything after a home run? Are they joking about it? What are they saying?
I got the silent treatment after the first one, and then after that it was normal.
So George Brett told a story about being in spring training and watching you. And normally guys are, you know, playing grab ass and having fun when other guys are up. But when you would step up to the plate, everyone would go to the top step and be locked in. And George Brett, for him to say that and say that he couldn't stop watching you hit, what goes through your mind when you get that kind of praise from a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest hitters of all time?
I don't know about that, but that's pretty cool. I'm thankful, you know, to be around guys like him, basically all spring training. Him and Mike Sweeney have been super helpful throughout this whole process. You know, Sweeney was in Salt Lake for a few days last week, and, you know, it's cool to see former Royals that kind of hang around the franchise, and, you know, they just want the best for the organization, and they want the best for the players, and it's evident. You know, they're out there doing drills with us. You know, these guys have, Sweeney's the captain of the Royals, and he's out here, instead of kicking his feet back and just hanging out, he's working with us and trying to get us better. So it's just super, super awesome to have.
What kind of advice did Sweeney give you?
Just keep playing hard, take it day by day. You know, everything will fall into place the way it's meant to be. Just keep leaning on God. That's been his biggest advice.
Anything you're looking to do in Omaha that you haven't been able to cross off the last couple of years?
I went to the zoo when I was in college, but I'm definitely going to go back. I like the zoo here a lot. I didn't know there was a Topgolf here either, so I'll probably do that a few times.
Are you able to keep it inside the net?
Unfortunately, I'm not very good at golf, so yeah.
So what would your message be to Royals fans who are excited to see you and weirdo sports talk show hosts are demanding the Royals to call you up? Just be patient, back off. Do you like the attention? Like, what would your message be to the fans?
It'll happen when it happens. You know, just hoping for good health and everything just kind of keep going the way it is, and whenever that day comes, everything will be good. So not really stressing about it.
That's right.
What do you think of Florida's chances to make CWS? You think they have a chance to get back there this year?
That Coastal Regional, ECU's a little, you can't count out ECU. They didn't have the best year, but they won the tourney, so they're always a good program. Coastal, I don't know too much about. Then like Fairfield, I think their chances are really good, personally.